Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Quantum Thread. Today we're diving into something really intriguing, CrowdPoint Technologies. It's a decentralized, distributed quantum ledger database cloud platform, and they've got a comprehensive FAQ document that we're going to pick apart. Susan, Jake, great to have you both here.
Thanks, Paul. Excited to dig into this. Decentralized cloud is a huge topic right now, and Vogon seems to be taking a pretty unique approach.
Yeah, definitely. When I first heard Vogon, I thought of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but this Vogon seems a lot more user-friendly, thankfully. Let's get into it.
All right, kicking things off with a big one. How does Vogon compete financially with other decentralized clouds, and what makes them better? Susan, you had some thoughts on their unique features here.
Absolutely. The FAQ really highlights that Vogon isn't just about decentralized storage. It's a full Web3 data cloud. They emphasize data integrity, immutability, security, and privacy as core pillars. What makes them stand out, they say, are their unique tech like Deterministic Concurrency, block graph, BLS 12-381, and compaction technology. They claim these eliminate the high costs and complexities often associated with other decentralized solutions.
And the financial angle is key, right? They're pushing a pay-as-you-go model with predictable pricing. This is a huge shift from what we sometimes see in the crypto space, which can be a bit volatile. And they're talking about addressing data gravity and providing data independence, which for businesses means a lower TCO, total cost of ownership.
Lower TCO is always music to a business owner's ears. But how about competing with the big fish, the well-known centralized clouds like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud? That's our second point.
That's where CrowdPoint Technologies really tries to differentiate itself. The FAQ argues that traditional clouds often come with vendor lock-in and those notorious egress fees, costs for getting your own data out. Vogon promises none of that, leading to significantly lower overall costs. Plus, their pricing is supposed to be more transparent and predictable.
It's not just cost, though. CrowdPoint Technologies' entire pitch is around data control and ownership. With a centralized cloud, you're trusting them with your data. Vogon, being Web3, offers privacy by design, immutability, and security that's rooted in cryptographic proof. You truly own your data. That's a massive differentiator, especially for sensitive information or regulated industries.
So it's about a paradigm shift in data ownership and security, not just a price war. But let's talk about usability. Centralized clouds, for all their faults, are generally pretty easy to integrate with. How easy is Vogon to use and integrate compared to those giants?
This is crucial for adoption, right? The FAQ says they've designed it for ease of use and rapid integration. A big part of that is their use of standard JSON for data storage. Developers are already very familiar with JSON, so that lowers the learning curve significantly. They also mention APIs and SDKs for various programming languages.
And it ties into the self-sovereign identity they promote. That simplifies access control and permissions, meaning fewer headaches when setting up integrations and managing who can access what. If they deliver on that, it could be a smoother experience than wrestling with complex IAM roles in a traditional cloud.
That sounds promising. Now, scalability is always a concern with any cloud platform, especially decentralized ones. What about Vogon's ability to scale and support customer needs?
They claim to be infinitely scalable thanks to their distributed network architecture. This is where concepts like deterministic concurrency really shine. It allows for high transaction throughput and parallel processing without contention, which is usually a bottleneck in many blockchain systems. And their block graph structure, which we'll get into, is inherently scalable for handling complex relationships.
Exactly. The decentralized nature itself means there's no single point of failure or bottleneck for growth. As more nodes join the network, theoretically, its capacity to handle data and transactions just increases. They're built from the ground up to handle massive amounts of data, not just gigabytes but petabytes and beyond, distributed globally.
Okay, so they're designed for scale. What cloud services are they actually providing? Are we talking basic storage or a full suite of offerings?
It's definitely a full suite, Paul. It's not just a file locker. The FAQ lists identity management with self-sovereign identity and verifiable credentials, which is huge. Then you have the immutable, secure distributed JSON data storage, decentralized compute capabilities, and end-to-end security and privacy. They're also offering smart contracts, which opens up a ton of possibilities for automation and DApps.
And don't forget data analytics. They mention tools for getting insights from that decentralized data. Plus, the network itself is peer-to-peer for all these distributed operations, and they have a platform for building what they call CRWD apps, which are decentralized applications built on Vogon. So it's a whole ecosystem.
CRWD apps. Interesting. That leads us right into our next point. How easy is it to customize these CRWD apps and the interfaces of integration? Jake, you touched on developer familiarity earlier.
Right, the open architecture is key here. Because they use standard APIs and SDKs, developers can integrate and customize quite easily. The JSON-based document store also simplifies data handling for app development. If you know JSON, you're already halfway there. They're clearly trying to minimize the friction for developers, which is smart because that's how you get adoption.
It's all about the developer experience, or DX these days. If it's cumbersome to build on, even with great tech, it won't gain traction. The FAQ implies they are leveraging familiar tools and languages where possible, and that CRWD apps are designed to be modular. That level of modularity suggests high customizability.
Okay, so far so good on the tech and usability fronts. Next up, a very specific question from the FAQ. How many tokens have been acquired by customers? Susan, did the document give us a hard number here?
Actually, Paul, the FAQ document we reviewed, version 2 of the Vogon FAQ, doesn't provide a specific number for tokens acquired by customers. It explains that the crowd token is the utility token that fuels the Vogon decentralized network and is used for transactions and rewards, but it doesn't offer a quantifiable metric on customer acquisition of those tokens.
Which makes sense for an FAQ that's more about explaining the technology than real-time metrics. But it's good to know what the token is for. So on that note, what about rewards and fees for the blockchain itself? How does that economy work?
The FAQ explains that transaction fees are paid in Scrowd tokens, and they're designed to be predictable and lower than what you'd see in traditional clouds. And for rewards, participants who contribute resources to the network, like node operators providing compute or storage, are rewarded with Scrowd tokens. This is part of their proof of contribution mechanism, which incentivizes decentralization and network security.
It's a pretty standard blockchain incentive model, but crucial for maintaining a healthy, decentralized network. It ensures that there's a reason for people to run nodes and contribute computing power, which keeps the whole thing robust and secure.
Got it. Fees to use, rewards for contributing. Simple enough. Now, let's dive into some of the more technical jargon. First up, deterministic concurrency. Jake, what exactly is that?
Deterministic concurrency is a really important piece of Vogon's tech puzzle. In simple terms, it's a method that allows transactions to be processed in parallel without creating conflicts. What this means is that no matter the order of execution, you'll always get the same result. It removes race conditions and deadlocks that often plague traditional concurrent systems, and it's absolutely vital for achieving high throughput and scalability in a decentralized network.
So it's like a traffic cop for data, but a really smart one that knows exactly how to keep all the lanes moving without any crashes, and always gets everyone to their destination in the right order, no matter how many cars are on the road. It ensures reliability and speed, which is a big deal for a cloud platform.
That's a great analogy, Susan. Next up, something that sounds even more complex. BLS 12-381 block graph technology. Break it down for us, Susan.
Okay, so this is actually two powerful concepts combined. BLS 12-381 refers to a specific type of elliptic curve cryptography that's used for cryptographic signatures. Its main advantage is efficiency in signature aggregation. What that means is you can batch many individual signatures into a single compact signature. This significantly reduces the size of transactions on the blockchain and speeds up verification, making the whole system more scalable and efficient.
So instead of verifying 100 individual signatures, the system only has to verify one aggregated signature, which is way faster and uses less data. Got it.
Exactly. And then there's the block graph. This is a radical departure from the traditional linear blockchain, where blocks are chained one after another. Instead, Vogon uses a graph structure. Think of it like a directed acyclic graph, or DAG, where blocks can point to multiple previous blocks, not just one. This allows for parallel processing of blocks, drastically increasing transaction throughput and confirmation speeds. It's more resilient to forks and supports much higher concurrency than a linear chain.
Wow, so it's a non-linear blockchain structure that sounds incredibly efficient. That's some serious innovation there. Moving on, let's talk about the data itself. The JSON Distributed Document Store. Jake, this sounds like it's right up your alley for practicality.
It really is. The fact that they use JSON, JavaScript Object Notation, as the primary data format is brilliant. Developers globally are already super familiar with JSON. It's flexible, human-readable, and perfect for semi-structured data. So the document store aspect means you're storing data as flexible documents, not rigid tables like in traditional databases.
And the distributed part is key, right? It means your data isn't sitting on one server. It's spread across the entire Vogon network. This ensures redundancy, high availability, and censorship resistance. Combine that with immutability and verifiable integrity, and you have a very robust foundation for data storage.
So, familiar format, flexible structure, and distributed security. Sounds like a winning combo. Finally, our 12th and last point. What is compaction technology? Susan, bring us home with this one.
Compaction technology is essentially a maintenance and optimization process. As data accumulates in any system, especially a distributed ledger, you can end up with redundancy, outdated information, and fragmented files. Compaction works behind the scenes to remove that redundant or stale data, merge smaller files, and reorganize data on disk. It's crucial for maintaining performance over time, reducing storage costs, and preventing the blockchain from becoming bloated and slow.
Think of it like regularly decluttering and optimizing your computer's hard drive, but on a massive, distributed scale. It ensures the system remains fast and efficient even as it grows exponentially. Without it, you'd eventually hit performance walls, so it's a really smart piece of the puzzle.
That makes perfect sense. It's about long-term sustainability and efficiency. Well, we've covered a huge amount of ground today, from Vogon's financial competitiveness to its cutting-edge blockchain mechanics. It's clear CrowdPoint Technologies is trying to redefine what a decentralized cloud can be.
They definitely are. The blend of familiar tech like JSON with advanced concepts like block graph and deterministic concurrency is a compelling proposition. It will be fascinating to see how it plays out in the market.
Yeah, and the focus on data ownership and privacy resonates so much today. If they can make it as easy to use as they claim while delivering on these technical promises, it could really be a game changer for businesses and individuals looking for alternatives to the centralized cloud giants.
Absolutely. It's certainly a platform to watch. Thank you, Susan, and thank you, Jake, for the deep dive into CrowdPoint Technologies FAQs. There's only so much we can cover in one episode, but don't let your journey stop here. Head over to Vogon.cloud to explore more about their groundbreaking technology and see how it's shaping the future. Stay curious, stay informed, and as always, thank you for tuning in to the Quantum Thread.